Hello boys and girls, a very good evening and welcome to this live session on the Reasoning Refresher brought to you by Talent Sprint. I hope all of you are in good health and your preparation for the upcoming exams, that is SBI Clerks. SBI Clerks is over. SBI Clerks is not over. I'm sorry. SBI Clerks is scheduled for the 23rd of June, right? So SBI Clerks, SBI PO, SSC CGL and the other competitive exams is in high gear, right? Now we are here to have a session on the weekly refresher for the subject of reasoning. But before we get into that and solve some questions from the last week's already a mock exam, I have got some very important updates for you. Right? At the outset, I'm glad to see so many of you active on the chat there. Welcome everyone. And for the benefit of those who have recently joined our advanced coaching program, let me mention that we try to refresh the concepts and cover latest pattern questions through these live classes which are conducted on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, right? One each on quantitative aptitude, reasoning ability and English language. So today's session is going to be on reasoning ability, where we choose questions from our All India mock exams that are conducted on a weekly basis, or other mock tests that we conduct, or some latest pattern questions that we get to know through various discussion forums. All right. So that's the update for those who have recently enrolled in the program. The other important update I have for you all is 21-day preparation marathon for SBI PO 2018, which is being brought to you by Talent Sprint. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have heard of it already, but if not, you can just visit our help center. You know that when you log into the dashboard, right, when you log into our account on the dashboard, we have some quick links on the right hand side. One of those quick links is to take you to the help center, where you will have all the details about this 21-day preparation marathon that we are arranging to make sure that your preparation for the SBI PO 2018 exam is maximized, right? Now, what will be done as a part of this marathon? Well, the events have already been updated. I mean, if you have checked your events calendar, you would know that a lot of things are being planned for SBI PO 2018, right? Now, as a part of this marathon, we'll be conducting All India mock exams. Now, if you are wondering what is new about it, we anyway conduct All India mock exams. Well, the difference this time is that we usually conduct All India mock exams over the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. But then, for this marathon, we'll be doing All India mock exams, 9 All India mock exams, or in fact 10 All India mock exams on alternate days starting from 8th of June, right? I repeat, we'll be conducting 10 All India level mock exams starting from 8th June till 30th June. And we shall discuss the solutions of the questions asked here in these All India mock exams the next day through our live classes. We'll be conducting 3 live classes on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. So one each for quantitative aptitude, reasoning and English. 3 live classes per day, which means as against 3 classes that you have per week, you will have 9 classes per week. All right. And what do we do in those 9 classes? We'll cover the toughest questions which were asked in these All India mock exams. So that's the coverage here. Now, the most interesting part of this 21-day preparation marathon is that one of these 10 All India mock exams that we conduct will be held in an examination center, like a real center, right? And these centers are going to be in 10 cities which have been chosen based on the demand from students, right? So some of these cities are Delhi, Lucknow, Patna, Jaipur, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, right, and others. You can check the list of those 10 cities. So if you are from any of these 10 cities, or if we can reach to any of these 10 cities, then you will get to experience the SBI PO mock exam in a real like atmosphere, like how it would really happen on the day of your real examination, right? You will go to an examination center, you will be given a hall ticket by Talent Sprint, you will go with the hall ticket, your hall ticket would be verified, and only after that you will be allowed to take an exam at a center where we will have invigilators and other students taking the exam along with you, so that you get to feel that atmosphere, which would definitely add a lot of value in your preparation by boosting your confidence, right? So that's the most interesting part in my view. And like I said, these centers will be only in 10 cities, right? The list of cities is available in the help center, you can check it out. For students who are outside these 10 cities, do not worry, your exam will also happen, but the center will be your home itself, right? You'll have to take the online exam from your home, which will be scheduled at a particular time, right? It will not be like open and you can take it whenever you want. It will be scheduled like 11 o'clock. You have to come at 11 o'clock, enter your details, and then start taking the examination. All right. Now, if you are wondering how do we get to know what is the center and stuff like that, well, don't worry. Tomorrow onwards, June 2nd onwards, we will roll out a application form. Well, this is being called the dress rehearsal. Now, you must probably know what is meant by dress rehearsal, right? Like usually before an act, people do rehearsals, but then there's something called as dress rehearsal where you actually wear the costumes and use the real props and practice. Right? Like for example, let's say there is a 26th January parade. So on 24th Jan, there's a dress rehearsal that happens at the real venue with the real costumes, real props, real designs, real models, and the practice is done. So this exercise that we will do, that one of those exams at the centers, and by the way, this is being held on 16th of June. So it will be held on 16th of June, which falls on a Saturday in those 10 cities. This is being called a dress rehearsal, right? You actually go to a center, you will be taking the exam along with a lot of other students. Right. Of course, you'll also get to interact with students post the examination. You will be invigilated there. Your hall tickets would be verified. You will be frisked to check if you are, to make sure that you're not carrying any mobile phones and stuff like that. Like how really an SBIPO happens. So this is the dress rehearsal. Details are all available. We will be rolling out application forms starting tomorrow. Right. You have to fill in the application form and choose your center. Right. If you belong to any of these cities, choose your center or just check online as the option there and you can take the exam online. Now I know some of you will be disappointed with the fact that exam is not happening in your city, but don't worry, in the coming seasons we will make sure that we cover more and more cities, right? In fact, we are planning to cover up to 50 cities in the next slot, in the next examination, but we need to see how well this experiment goes out, right? So that's the update. A 21-day preparation marathon for SBIPO 2018 for the advanced coaching students of Talent Sprint, absolutely free. The coverage is 10 All India mock exams, which will be scheduled on alternate days, followed by 3 live sessions for each of the mock exams where we will discuss the smart solutions. And one of these 10 exams will be conducted in a city, in 10 cities which have been shortlisted. All right. This 21-day preparation marathon, by the way, will also include exam strategy sessions by our trainers and also successful students who cracked and got the SBIPO job last year. Okay, so that's all the coverage. In fact, if you need more details, you can just visit the help center and check all the frequently asked questions related to this. All right. Remember, for you to be a part of this 21-day marathon, you got to be an advanced coaching student of Talent Sprint, a 1-year advanced coaching student of Talent Sprint. All right. So that's the update. I'm sure this is going to be a very, very useful exercise, a very useful practice test for all of you, because all said and done, taking a mock test at your home and taking a mock test at a center, at a real life center, completely changes the whole game, right? You will feel that pressure when you see people sitting around you. Okay. Examination centers will be revealed with the hall ticket. We will start sending out the hall tickets from 13th June onwards. You'll be able to download the hall tickets, or we'll send the hall ticket over an email, and only then you will get to know what is the examination center. Your centers will be in these cities itself. Okay. Any questions if I have to cover quickly on this, or shall we get started? Okay, looks like somebody wants me to crack the series 18, 8, 6, 8, 24X. Anubhav Gupta. Anubhav, I think let's take it up. I'm sure. I'm not really good in cracking number series, and for me the best way to solve these questions is to try out for 15-20 seconds and skip it if you're unable to get the logic within that time. So we will take that up sometime during the session. Let me just see if there are any more questions. Tirupati, well, Tirupati is not a center. I am afraid Tirupati is not the center. Chennai is a center, yes. Any Pavani is not very happy because her town is not in the list of centers, but Pavni, you can take the exam online, don't worry. Well, Mumbai is also not in the list. Really sorry about that. Sony says, I wonder if your center will provide a laminated sheet and cloth instead of rough sheets. Well, we will take care of that. Don't worry. I know I had mentioned that you should practice on a laminated sheet with a piece of cloth, because that's what would probably happen in the real examination. We will try and do something like that in this dress rehearsal as well. Sanjeet says, will it be also for the SBA clerks exam? Well, Sanjeet, we are not doing this dress rehearsal for SBA clerks. We are doing it for SBA PO. So if you have applied for SBA PO, you can join us. In fact, even if you have applied for SBA clerks, and if you can, if you are from any of those 10 cities, you better apply for this dress rehearsal as well, because whether the exam is PO or clerk is secondary, the real feel of the center is important, right? And anyway, 16 June is before 23rd of June when your real SBA clerks exam would be held, right? So it will serve as a practice for both the exams. Yeah. Anything else? Divya says, I'm from Hyderabad. Can I take this online? Well, if you are from Hyderabad, I would strongly recommend that you opt for Hyderabad as a center, but then you can also go online. If you don't want to go to a center, you can take it online as well. But be careful about your choice, because if you do not go to the center, you may probably not be allowed to take the exam online as well. Okay. All right. A lot of centers coming in there. Yeah, so the list of centers has been posted by Sony here. Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Pune, Bhubaneswar, Kolkata, Patna, Lucknow and Jaipur. Okay, so I think that's about the update, the 21-day preparation marathon for SBA PO 2018, which includes a dress rehearsal. All right, now let's get started with the session. We have some questions chosen from the All India mock exams, right? Some of these are real complex ones, and like I always say, the best way to deal with complex puzzles or complex circular arrangements or complex linear arrangements or complex rectangular table arrangements is to skip and solve the rest of the questions first, right? Anyway, as a part of your practice, we shall take up some of these complex questions as well. So let me get started. I can start posting the questions now, but then we have Pavni asking a question, are we all eligible for this 21-day marathon? Yes, you are. If you are a part of this live session, you are our advanced coaching students, and hence you are eligible for taking this 21-day marathon. Okay. Chalo, let me get started now. So I've got the list of questions. Let me present the first one for you all. Well, we have, let me just quickly tell you all the choices of questions that you have today. We have one question from machine input output. There's one circular arrangement where you have to arrange 8 persons and find out the magazines that they read, right? Then we have logical series based puzzle. Then there's another puzzle where we have got 8 women who are sitting around a rectangular table, right? 4 of them at the corners and 4 of them at the centers. We have a couple of questions on coding and decoding, and then we have a question on finding out the number of triangles in a given figure. All right, so let's start. I think we shall start with the simplest of all, considered to be the simplest of all, and usually the simplest of all, which is the logical series, because all you have to do here is follow the steps given in the question and arrive at the answer. So let me present the first question to you all, which is on your screens now. See what it says. In every question, 2 rows are given, and to find out the resultant of a particular row, you need to follow the following steps. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 and step 5. The 5 steps have been given to you. You have to follow these steps and answer the questions asked here. Right? Look at the first question. If the sum of the resultants of 2 rows is 20, then find the value of x. So there are 2 rows of numbers here. The resultant of both the rows is given as 20. We got to find the value of x. So follow these rules. We have videos on such questions, right? This topic or this question belongs to logical series. If you have gone through the videos of logical series, you would know how to solve these questions. It's a sitter in my view, will not take more than 45 seconds to 1 minute. Your clock starts now. Nine is the answer. Option B, 9 is what most of you have marked, right? All right. Ravi Teja says the question is not clearly visible. Well, Ravi Teja, given the number of steps that we have here, I don't think I can increase the font size. Just try and adjust the picture quality at your end, and I'm sure you will be able to see the question. All right, so the time is up. I think I'm glad that many of you have got option B, 9 as the answer. We'll quickly discuss this. But before that, a couple of points here. Anubhav Gupta says, I don't know the ABCD of it. So Anubhav Gupta, the ABCD of this has been discussed in the topic called logical series, which is available under reasoning ability section. So just go through that. Neeraj says there's a new pattern of question. Well, not really. Of course, logical series is old. The pattern may be a little bit new, and that's the reason we have chosen it for the live session today. Now, the important point that I wanted to clarify is about this confusion between what is meant by advanced coaching students. All of you are advanced coaching students, right? Students who have enrolled for that 1 year advanced coaching program are advanced coaching students. I am not referring to titanium students alone, right? I mean, for those who are aware of the term titanium category, they may get these doubts. So it's not just for titanium. All of you who have enrolled for the advanced coaching by Talent Sprint, the yearly program that we have, are eligible. So don't worry about it. The students who have opted for free coaching, where we have limited content open, are not eligible. I repeat, those who all have opted for the free coaching valid for 3 months with limited content are not eligible for this. You have to sign up for the yearly program to be able to participate in this. Now, let's look at the solution for this question. All right, so here we go. Look at what it says. Direction. In every question, 2 rows are given, and to find out the resultant of a particular row, you need to follow the following steps, right? Look at the steps. Step 1. If an even number is followed by an odd prime number, then the resultant will be the addition of both the numbers. Step 2. If an odd number is followed by a perfect square, then the resultant will be the difference between the numbers. Similarly, step 3, 4 and 5, right? Rules have been given. Odd number followed by another odd number, resultant will be addition. Even number followed by odd non-prime, resultant will be difference between odd and even. And odd number followed by even, resultant will be multiplication of the 2 numbers. Now, remember, it's easy if you can quickly understand the rules. Like even number followed by odd prime, resultant will be addition. Everything else is useless there. If even number is followed by odd prime number, then add both of them. Similarly, if odd number is followed by a perfect square, then take the difference. If odd number is followed by another odd number, then the addition of the 2 numbers is to be considered. If even number is followed by odd non-prime number, then the resultant will be difference. and if odd number is followed by an even number, then resultant will be multiplication. So that is the idea. Now if you are wondering, do we really need to do so much of work for solving these questions or for solving this particular question? Let me tell you that generally we get 5 questions under logical series, right? Here we have got only 1, but usually we have 3 to 5 questions. So it's worth it if you try and spend some time understanding what the rules are. These are actually not steps. These are, strictly speaking, different rules that we have to follow, right, based on the numbers. So if you spend a few seconds trying to simplify the rules for yourself, nothing wrong with it, because you will eventually get 5 marks, right? Now see what it says. If the sum of the resultants of the 2 rows is 20, find the value of x. So here is an x. There are 2 rows, 18, 15, 6, 8, 3, x. He says the sum of these 2 rows, is 20. Then what will be the value of x is the question. Now how do you proceed with this? Simple. This is row number 1, 18, 15, 6 is row number 1. Look at the first 2 numbers, 18 and 15. Now which rule will be applicable? Which of these steps will be applicable? See, this is an even number followed by an odd number, odd non-prime number, right? 15 is an odd number and it is not a prime. So even followed by odd non-prime. Even followed by odd prime, no. Even followed by odd non-prime. Rule number 4. If an even number is followed by an odd non-prime number, even number here is 18, odd non-prime is 15. Then the resultant will be difference between the odd number and even number. So what's the difference between 18 and 15? 3. So I can just eliminate these 2 and I can write 3. So basically the row which had 18, 15 and 6 has now become 3 and 6, because the resultant of first 2 numbers here is 3. Now take up 3 and 6. So odd number followed by even number. 3 is an odd number followed by even number. Odd followed by even. Odd followed by even. Is this a perfect square? No, 6 is not a perfect square. So odd followed by even number. Step number 5. Odd 3 followed by even 6. We have to multiply. So multiply 3 and 6. What do we get? 18. 18. So if you try and understand, the resultant of the first row is 18. We do not know what the resultant of second row is, right? But then the sum of these 2 is equal to 20. When you add these 2, you get 20, right? Sum of these 2 is 20. That's what he says, right? Sum of the resultant of the 2 is 20. So obviously the resultant of second row has to be 2. The resultant of second row has to be 2. R here is nothing but resultant of second row, let's say. Which means 8, 3 and x, 8, 3 and x should result in the value 2. So 18 plus 2 becomes 20. Now look at this, 8 and 3, apply the rule. 8 and 3, even number followed by odd non-prime. Odd prime, 3 is a prime number, sorry. Even followed by odd prime. Even followed by odd prime. Even number followed by odd prime number. Resultant will be addition of both. So 8 and 3 will give you 11. This is 11. Now 11 has to be considered along with x. So basically, if you observe, the whole question now boils down to one simple step. The resultant of 11 and x, should be equal to 2. Resultant of 11 and x should be equal to 2. When can that happen? When can that happen? See, this 11 is an odd number. Now, if the resultant has to be 2, the only way possible is 11 minus something which gives you 2. 11 minus 9. Right? So x should ideally be 9, but let's just look at the rules also. Odd number followed by perfect square, resultant will be difference. Yes, step number 2 itself is applicable. 11 is an odd number followed by perfect square. Can I consider the perfect square 9? Yes or no? 11, perfect square 9. So 11 followed by perfect square 9, difference has to be considered. 11 difference 9 is equal to 2. 11 difference 9 is equal to 2. Right? So the value of x has to be 9. Option B. So option B, 9 is the final answer. Now do not go by the length of the explanation or the number of steps that I put there, right? That's because I'm explaining it to you. I'm not solving it for you, myself. If you know the working behind those questions, if you know how to approach such questions, then it will not take more than 45 seconds. So I think a simple one. The only difference here is usually we are asked to find out the resultant of the 2 rows. Sum of the resultants of 2 rows or product of the resultant of 2 rows. Here, the resultant was already given. We were asked to find out one of the missing numbers. Okay. Now, there is a query here from Vijay who says, please tell me where has been mentioned in the question direction you will apply the same instruction on result which you get first 2 terms and third terms in the same row. Well, yes. Strictly speaking, if you look at the directions, Vijay, it has not been given that you have to apply the rule on the results of the first two terms with the third term to get the overall result of the row, but that's the approach, right? He's just talked about, so basically what we usually do is we consider two numbers at a time and then apply the rule, right? So take the first two numbers, apply the rule, get the result. With the result, take the third number, again apply the rule, which is whichever is applicable, and get the result, and so on, right? So that's how you proceed in such questions. I mean, that's the way we work it. So work on it. So I think it is to be considered as a default process. Yeah, so somebody who's really new to such questions, who is seeing something like this for the first time, will be, will go bonkers, because he will not understand what it actually means. But then if you had gone through the video, you would know what has to be done. Okay. Anything else? Are these concepts discussed in the videos in the new pattern? Can someone tell me? Well, these concepts are discussed under the topic of logical series. Please follow those videos. Yeah. So let me quickly present you the next one. Let's take up something from machine input output now. This question also was asked in the last Olympia mock exam, and what I learned from Gayatri is that some students wanted us to solve these type of question or this particular question. So presenting the question to you all. Try and spend a minute or so, understand the logic, understand the step-by-step process, and then we will look at the questions. So here if you see the directions, study the following information carefully and answer the questions given below. When a word and number arrangement machine is given an input line of words and numbers, it arranges them following a particular rule. The following is an illustration of input and rearrangement. All the numbers are 2-digit numbers. So there's an input given to you, which is 32, prevent, 46A, 62, mishap, 54, buy, carefulness, 93, and so on. Then there is a step-by-step process. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He says step 5 is the last step of the above arrangement, and as intended, arrangement is obtained. As per the rules followed in the given steps, find out the appropriate steps for the given input. So there is a new input given to us. I can show you the new input as well. This is the new input. Regular 46, exercise 31, 29, must, for 54, all 83, 91 now. And then based on this input, there will be questions. Here we have got the 4 questions. But then before you look at the questions, you got to solve this input, do the rearrangement for this input, and before that, you need to understand how to do it. So the illustration is given here. Spend a minute, get the logic, and then I'll present the input to you all. I hope all of you have understood the logic. Let me do one thing. I'll also put the question here itself, which is regular 46, exercise 31, 29 must follow, so that you can look at the illustration and also the question together. Let me do that. In the meanwhile, you can just focus on how to work on those step-by-step rearrangement process. Just a second. All right. So you've got the input here on the slide itself. You can now start working on it, right? So there's an illustration given to you with the new input. You have to repeat the same step-by-step process on the given input so that you can answer the questions. So I'll leave you with this for about 3 to 4 minutes. Get the complete illustration, and then you can answer the questions easily. Alright, I hope you're done with this. Shall we proceed? Okay, I see Dolvin Shaker saying this machine creates random words. Well, yes, the words are changing, but there's a logic behind that, Shaker. So don't worry about it. Many of you have done it. Some of you have seen 1 more minute or some extra time. Well, 30 more seconds and then we'll take it up because we have other questions to be taken up. 30 seconds before we start solving this. Anubhav says, I don't know the whole concept of it. Well, Anubhav, if you do not know the concept, then watch the videos on machine input output. And don't panic. Don't worry if you are not able to solve or not able to follow these things, because unless you know the basics, you will not be able to attempt such questions. Okay. Praveen still doing it. Dushyant wants me to take it up. So I think let's take it up now. Enough time has been given. Let us look at this question and solve it together. So here we go. Look at the directions. Study the following information carefully and answer the questions given below. So when a word and number arrangement machine is given an input line of words and numbers, it arranges them following a particular rule. The following is an illustration of input and rearrangement. And important point given here is that all the numbers are 2-digit numbers. Now look at the input. The input is 32 prevent, 46 62 mishap, 54 by carefulness, 93. Okay. And this is step-by-step process. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. It says step 5 is the last step of the above arrangement. Step 5 is the last step of the above arrangement as the intended arrangement is obtained. Right? As per the rules followed in the given steps, find out the appropriate steps for the given input. So there's a given input basically. As per the rules which have been followed in the above steps, step 1 to step 5, we have to find out the appropriate steps for the given input as well. Okay? So let's see how do we do it. Now understand, like I always say, the first step in a machine input output question is to look at the last step. The last step here is step 5. So first step is look at the last step and try to understand the logic behind that output. Only then it makes sense, right? So I will not worry about what the input is, directly jump to the last step, step 5. Now what is the step 5 here? 31, 44, 51, 58, 88. Utilize, quality, fatigue, dubious, and whatever this word is, which I don't know how to pronounce, right? But then, what's the logic? All the numbers have been arranged at the beginning of the step. All the words have been arranged towards the end of the step. So first arrange the numbers, then arrange the words. Look at the arrangement of numbers 31, 44, 51, 58, 88. Clearly, these numbers have been arranged in ascending order. Right? So we want the numbers to be arranged in ascending order. Look at the words now. Words are utilize, quality, fatigue, dubious, and whatever this, best match, let's say. So U, Q, F, D, B. Clearly the words have been arranged in reverse alphabetical order. Right? The words have been arranged in the reverse alphabetical order. So that's the first understanding that we have. So whatever be the input, the desired output is to have numbers in the beginning, words at the end. The numbers have to be in ascending order and the words have to be in reverse alphabetical order. Now let's go to the input and look at the step-by-step process. Because after you know the logic, you also need to know the step-by-step process in which the output has been obtained. Okay, so input is 32 prevent, 46 62 mishap, 54 by carefulness, 93. Now this is where I get confused, or a student would get confused. Why? Because when I look at the output, numbers are 31, 44, 51, 58, 88, which are not there in the given input. The numbers in the input are all different. And not just the numbers, the words also are different. Here we have utilized quality, fatigue, dubious, and so on. But then look at the words here: prevent, mishap, buy, carefulness, and so on. So this is where the tricky part is. You got to understand what's happening in the step-by-step process. How is this? How are these numbers and the words changing here? Okay. Anyway, so let's look at what has happened from input to step 1. From input to step 1. So input has these things. Now look at what happened in step 1. We have got 92 in the first position. Now we don't know where 92 has come from. But then the closest number I can observe is 93 here, which actually is missing in the step 1. Which means 93 has been brought to the first position and it has been reduced by 1, minus 1. 93 becomes 92. Look at what happens after that. 32 is as it is. Prevent has been moved. Prevent has gone somewhere else, right? But then we have 46, 62, mishap, 54, buy, carefulness as it is. We have the new word query. Now, where did this query come from? See, the word which is missing from the input is prevent. The new word which has come into picture is query. Prevent has become query. So, first of all, if you see, one word and one number have been moved from input to step 1. What happened in step 1? A number and a word have been repositioned. So the number 93 was brought to the first position. The word prevent was brought to the last position. Now one may argue, why did we choose 93 and the word prevent? What is the reason? Well, clearly I see that the number 93 here is the highest number. So we are working on the highest number. Move the highest number, but reduce it by 1 before you reposition it. And prevent, if you observe, is the last word as per the alphabetic order in the first step in the input. See, A, B, C, M, P. So among the given words, the word that comes last in alphabetical order is prevent. Maybe that's why prevent has been moved. But before it was positioned in the last place, it has been changed to query. Now, how did prevent change to query? How does a complete word change? Well, don't worry about the complete word. Don't focus on the complete word. Only look at the first letter of the word. P becomes Q. P becomes Q. So in terms of word, we have taken +1. You understand? Some word which starts with the next letter. Here the word started with P, the next word has to start with Q. So query. It can be query, it can be queen, it can be quilon, it can be something that starts with Q. You're getting it? So the logic is this. You move words and numbers. In each step, a word and a number is moved. Right? So that finally we arrive at this output. While moving the numbers, reduce the number by 1. While moving the word, change, or not the word in fact, let's talk about letters. While changing the letter, take the next letter as per the alphabetical order. Now see what happens in step 1 to step 2, from step 1 to step 2. After 92, what do we have here? 61. So very clearly 62 becomes 61. Now you don't have to worry about it. 62 has become 61. Right? Because that's the next number. See, we are taking the highest number. So the next highest number is 62. 62 becomes 61. Also, you see, 92 has become 91. So any word or number that has been already moved should always get reduced. Since 92 was reduced by 1, again it will be further reduced by 1 and 62 will become 61. 62 will become 61. 32, 46, 54, by, carefulness, all are same. See, query, Q has become R. Q has become R. P, Q, R. And the word mishap has been moved, M. M has been moved, M becomes N. M becomes N. You're getting it? So the point is this. Again, in each step, you word one number and one word. When you change the position of the number, you reduce it by 1. The number by 1. You increase the letter by 1. Right? Number becomes -1, letters become +1. And all the words and numbers which have already been moved also should undergo this change. It's not just that number or that letter in that step. It also happens on the previously moved numbers and previously moved letters. So if you observe, that's what is happening, right? 93 became 92, then 91, then 90, and then 89, and then 88. That's how we have arrived at 88. 61 becomes 60, and then 59, and then 58. Similarly, 54 was moved. It becomes 53, 52, 51. Then 46 was moved. 45, 44. Until the number is moved, it will remain the same. You will not change it. Only once it is moved to a new position, then you have to start reducing it by 1 in each step. Are you able to follow? Till the number is in the same position, there won't be any change. Only when the number's position is changed, only when the number's position is changed, it starts reducing by 1. Then you see 32 was moved only in the last step. That's why 32 has become 31. Right? So that's the process. Same thing happens with letters as well. P becomes Q, then R. It keeps moving inside. You are bringing the word towards the rightmost end always, right? So every time the earlier moved word or earlier moved letter goes inside, one step inside. So R, then it becomes S, then it becomes T, and then it becomes U. So that's how prevent has become utilized. The word prevent has eventually changed to utilize. P has become U. P, Q, R, S, T, U. Similarly, the word M or the letter M, M becomes N, O, P, Q. Similarly, if you see C, carefulness, C becomes D, E, F. Right? B, by becomes Catholic C, B becomes C, and then it becomes D. A in this step has become B in the last step. Getting it? So there's a whole lot of process here. It's not direct movement of words or numbers like we usually see. We are moving words and numbers in each of the steps. One word and one number is moved, or one letter and one number is moved. Numbers are all brought towards the beginning of the step. Words are all brought towards the end of the step. Right? The numbers are moved in such a way that we always pick up the highest number, so that eventually the highest number goes in the center position and we get the ascending order. The words are, or the letters are moved in such a way that we always pick up the last letter as per alphabetical order. So eventually that last letter comes in the middle of the step as it keeps moving inside one by in each step, and we get the reverse alphabetical order. When you are moving the numbers, reduce by 1. All the moved numbers will get reduced by 1 in each step, and all the moved words will get, all the moved letters will become the next letter in each step, only when they are moved. The point to be noted is only when you have changed the position of a word or a number, only then you get to increase or decrease it. Until it is moved, you should not change it. Now what do we have to do? We have to do the same process, step by step process on this input. What is this input? Regular, 46, exercise 31, 29, must, for, 54, all, 83, 91 now. You do the same step by step process, and finally answer the questions. So here I've got the input for you. We can do the step by step process, then answer these questions. Which of the following pair represents extreme right and extreme left at step 6? Which element is exactly between 31 and 4 in third step of the given arrangement? Which of the following represents the penultimate step of the given input? What do you mean by penultimate? Penultimate is the last but one. One step before the ultimate step, last but one step. So if there are 7 steps, the penultimate step will be the 6th step. If there are 37 steps, the penultimate step will be 36th step. If there are 14 steps, the penultimate step will be the 13th step. Then the last question is, which element is 7th to the left of the element which is 11th from the left end of the last step? So as you can see, to answer such questions, you have to do the complete step by step process. There is no other shortcut. Okay. So let's now start working on it. What I will do here is, one smart method is, don't consider the words, just take the letters, so that it becomes easy to arrange also, right? R, I'll not worry about regular, it's R, 46, then exercise is E, then 31, 29, M, F, then we have 54, we have A, 83, 91, N. You can see that there are more words and more letters and more numbers, so it will take more than 5 steps, I guess. So let's try it out. Step number 1. You're able to follow? The letters are R, E, M, F, A, N. And the numbers are 46, 31, 29, 54, 83, 91. Now you have to do the same step by step process. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on. Now what are the advantages of choosing only the letter? There are 2 advantages. One, anyway the word doesn't matter, whether it is regular or whether it's regular or anything that starts with R. Let's say road or rage or whatever. It only depends on the first letter. So first letter is important. Second advantage is, once you have only the first letter of the word, the alignment will be very neat. The arrangement will be very neat. You should ensure that you're writing the words and numbers exactly below these in this order, so that you don't miss on anything. If there's an extra position that you get or one less position that you get, you can easily understand that something has been missed out. Right? So two advantages. are there. Now what will you have to do in step 1? Remember, we want numbers in the beginning, we want words at the end. So obviously we'll be moving numbers. Which number will we move? We'll move the highest number. If you have any confusion, go back and check the illustration. Highest number was moved. And the last letter was moved. Last letter meaning last letter as per the alphabetical order. And then you have to continue. So what's the highest number here? 46, 31, 29, 54, 83, 91. The highest number is 91. Right? So move 91 to the first position. But then it becomes 90. 91 becomes 90. What is the last letter as per the alphabetical order? R, E, M, F, A, N. I think the last letter is R. So R has to be brought to the last position. But remember, R will become S. Next letter, R, S. Now, if you want, what you can do is, in the next step, 90 will become 89. Then it will become 88. Then it will become 87. Properly aligned it, right? Similarly, S will become T. It will become U. And so on. If you want, you can do this also. Right? Without disturbing the positions there. You have to write it in the proper sequence so that you don't, miss out on anything. Right? Anyway, the full step is required, so let's fill it up. So, 90 has been moved, R has been moved, copy everything else as it is. So, R has already gone there. Then we have 46, E, 31, 29, M, F, 54, A, 83. See, 91 has gone there, so don't copy 91 again, N. Now what happens in the next step? The next highest number. So after 90 has been moved, what's the next highest number? I think it is 83. So 83 comes here, it becomes 82. It becomes 82, right? 83 becomes 82. And what's the next letter? See, the letter S is already fixed. Out of the remaining letters, E, M, F, A, N. Which is the last letter? N. So N should go in the last position. But N becomes M. Sorry, M, N, O. N becomes O. The next letter as per the alphabet. Copy everything else as it is. You're able to follow. What have we moved this time? We have moved 83, which was the highest number. But when we moved it, we made it 82. The next number to be moved was N. N becomes O. Copy everything else as it is. Right? So, 89 is the result of 90. Then we copy 46. We copy E, 31, 29, M, F, 54, A. Remember, 83 and N have already been moved and S becomes T here. So see, just come a little down. Let me just copy it once again. T and O in the right horizontal line. So you understood what I meant, right? You can, if you want, you can do that also. So what was it? T, O. Now step 3. So quickly do the steps now. Step 3. What happens in step 3? See, 82 will become 81. 89 will become 88. One step inside. O will become P. M, N, O, P. T will become U. Now what has to be moved? Check in step 2 what has been moved. After 83, I think 54 is the next highest number. And in terms of letters, it should be M. So 54 becomes 53. M will become N. Copy everything else as it is. So 46, E, 31, 29, F. 54 has been moved. A will come here. Then step 4. Now I'm doing it quickly because that's all it takes. After you have done the first and second step, you will know what needs to be done exactly done. You can do it really quick, right? So now 53 will become 52, 81 will become 80, 88 will become 87. Move these three one position inside. So U, V, P, Q, N, M, N, O. Yeah. Now what comes next? After 54, I think it should be 46. And in terms of letters, we have already moved M, right? So from the remaining letters E, F and A, F has to be moved. So 46 becomes 45. This becomes G, F, G. Copy everything else as it is. So this has gone in. Now E has to be copied as it is, 31 as it is, 29. F has gone, A comes here. Make sure exactly write it in the same sequence so that you don't miss out on anything. You see? You'll get to know if you miss something. Then step 5. What happens in step 5? First move everything else inside. So 45 becomes 44, 52 becomes 51, 80 becomes 79, 87 becomes 86. Then move these things inside. V becomes W, Q becomes R, O becomes P, G becomes H. Now what has to be moved? See, we had moved F and 46 earlier. This time we'll move 31 and E. So 31 becomes 30, E becomes F. What are left out? I think 29 and A are left out. These two have not been moved. And finally, I think the last step will give us the output. Step 6. What do you do? First move everything inside, right? 30 becomes 29, 44 becomes 43, 51 becomes 50, 79 becomes 78, 86 becomes 85. Move the letters inside. W becomes X, R becomes T, Q, I, G. You understand? F, G, H, I, P, Q, R, S, W, X. Now, what has to be moved? 29 and A have to be moved. 29 will become 20. 29 has already been moved. No, I think this was 30 which became 29. 29 will become 28. 29 will become 28, right? I got confused that did I move 29 already? This 30 became 29. Now 29 will become 28. A becomes B. This is the final output. Step 6 is the last step. And now to verify whether you have done it right or not, you can quickly check the logic that we had verified, right? What is the logic? The numbers have to be in the beginning in ascending order. Words have to be at the end. Letters have to be at the end in the reverse alphabetical order, right? So check the numbers 28, 29, 43, 50, 78, 85. Yes, correct. These are in all ascending order. And the letters X, S, Q, I, G, B are all in reverse alphabetical order. Now you can answer the questions very easily. Okay, now answering the questions would become very, very easy. Now, don't go by the length of the explanation, please, because I was discussing it with all of you. I was not solving it myself, right? When you solve it yourself, you won't take so much of time. Let's quickly answer the questions. So the first one here, I'll have to go back and forth between the questions and the solution here. Let's look at the first one. The first question, which of the following pair represents extreme right and extreme left in step number 6? So go to step 6. Step 6, extreme left is 28, extreme right is B. Now it can be any word with B. You understand? It can be any word with B. So only look at 28 and B. 28 and B. 33, no. 29, no. Blind and 28, yes. Extreme right is B, extreme left is 28 in that sequence, right? Don't get confused that it is 28 and B. Why is it B and 28? Here he is saying extreme right. What did we have on the extreme right here? Sorry, what did we have on the extreme right here? B, right? Extreme left 28. So that's the reason it is B followed by 28, blind 28. None of this cannot be the answer. Cannot be determined. Well, what do we do in such case? Should we say cannot be determined or I think blind and 28 can be taken as correct. Let me anyways verify and get back to you. I don't think we should say cannot be determined in such cases, because that way no question can be answered, because we will not be able to determine what the words are. See, we can only work on the first letter of the word, right? So let's stick to option C, right? Let's go to the next question. Which element is exactly between 31 and 4, 31 and F in third step? Exactly between 31 and F in third step. So this is step number 3. 31 is here and F is here. So what is exactly between 31 and F? 29. So 29 should be the answer. Option D. That's simple. Which of the following represents the penultimate step? Penultimate step here will be fifth step, because total there are 6 steps, right? When total are 6 steps, penultimate step will be the fifth step. So what is the fifth step? 30, 44. Let's match 30, 44, 51, 79, 86. 30, 44, 51, 79, 86. 30, it should start with 30. 44, 51, 79, 86. Yes, 30, 44, 51, 79, 86. Up to this is matches. Sorry. Next number is 29. Yeah, that also matches. Then look at the letters. We have A, W, R, P, H, F. A, okay. W, okay. R, okay. P, okay. H, okay, and F, which means cannot be determined, or both B and C. I think we can say both 2 and 3. So the following represents penultimate step for the given input. Penultimate means last but one. Penultimate, those who are not able to follow, penultimate, this has been discussed in the videos, but however, penultimate is last but one, or one before the last step. Okay, so I think both 2 and 3. And the last question here, which element is 7th to the left of the element which is 11th from the left end of the last step? So first of all, he is referring to the last step, right? Now, which element is 7th to the left of the element which is 11th from the left end of the last step. First of all, let us find out what is 11th from the left end. What is 11th from the left end in the last step? So 11th from the left end in the last step. See, left end is this, right? 11th from the left end. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th. 11th is G. So now I can change all this to G. Right? Which element is 7th to the left of? 7th to the left of? This is anyway G. The element which is 11th on the left hand is G. So which element is 7th to the left of? G in the last step. You getting it? What is G? See, we are focused on the last step. On the last step anyway, alright, of the last step. Now the element which is 11th from the left end is G. So this can be replaced with G. Now reread the question. Which element is 7th to the left of G in the last step? 7th to the left of G. 7th to the left of G. Left of G is this side, right? This side. Left of G. 7th to the left of G. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. 50. Answer has to be 50, which is option B. Alright. So this is how you answer this particular question from machine input output. Okay. I hope all of you have followed. I know it's a little time consuming because it's not just movement of letters and words in the steps, but also changing the words and numbers. Okay. So don't worry. I would not say that this is a question that you must skip because the solution is defined. The approach is defined. All you have to do is just represent the whole thing once again with the new input and answer the questions. And given that it's a 5 marks question, you should definitely not skip it because even if it takes, let's say, 5 minutes to do all this, it's worth it. 5 minutes, 5 marks. Having done the easier ones, right? All the easier ones. So if you are planning to skip this question, I think you are going in the wrong direction. You should not be skipping such questions. In my view, it would take about 3 to 4 minutes for you to convert this to 5 marks, right? Of course, you need to understand the logic, which is very, very important. All right. I hope all of you are clear. Let me take up the next one now. Should we go for the next one? Trilochan says in exam it is confusing. Well, you know, in exam this is not confusing. What happens is there are a lot of other external factors which will start working in the exam. The pressure, the feel of it, people sitting around you, all that will hamper your, you know, sharpness at the time, right? So that's the challenge. Should we go for the next one? What is the name of the topic of the last one? Well, this is called machine input output. Machine input output. Let's take up the next one. So we have got a couple of questions from coding and decoding, which again was not answered by many students in the exam, and the right thing to do, right? TR analysis tells us that a lot of students skipped this one or couldn't crack it. So good, I'm happy that many of you skipped it, but many of you also spent a lot of time before you decided to skip it. So I think let's quickly discuss the logic behind these two questions. I'll present it to you. You have 1 minute to try this. Your clock starts now. Got it? Option B is what most of you have marked here. Should we take it up? Rupa Sarkar says, is there any way to change my user ID in the dashboard? Well, Rupa, our technical team is working on it, and I can assure you that by next week you will have an option to edit your username on the dashboard. Right? We were all busy setting up the dress rehearsal and the 21-day preparation marathon for all of you. Be assured that by next week you will have an option to edit your username. Done? Should we take it up? All right, let's discuss this now. So here we go. Study the following information carefully and answer the questions given below. Now, in a certain code language, some statements are coded as follows. Flag, Duke, door, Spink is coded as percentage 15K, copyright 24S, C9E, asterisk 11G, and so on. There are 3 other statements: paper ranks, bank talk, bag done, spent year, fun rung rose. Now, we have to identify the logic behind this coding. You have to decipher the logic and then answer the questions. Questions would be very easy to solve once you know the logic. Like for example, the first question you see here is, what is the code of Duke? So you have to identify the code of Duke. Similarly, they may give us a new word which is not there in the whole list here at all, right? And then there's one more question. The code percentage 17N denotes which of the following word, right? So 2 questions here. Let's understand what's the logic. Now see, there is no way that there is no step-by-step process which can always give you the logic behind such questions. All you have to do is trial and error, right? And that's based on strong observation skills, right? If you can observe and find out what the logic could be, or even if you have one clue which is helping you decide the logic, you may be able to answer some of the questions. For example, I think the first thing that one can observe here is, see, each code has got a symbol, a number, and a letter. A symbol, number, letter, symbol, number, letter, symbol, number, letter. This is a new pattern questions, and we have discussed many such questions actually. This is another one. Now, either try to find out the logic behind the number or the logic behind the letter. The logic behind the symbol is going to be very abstract. There's no logic as such. It's all prefixed. So what is prefixed cannot be really deciphered during the exam, but maybe you can identify how they arrive at the number for each code and how they arrive at the letter for each code, right? So the letters are K, S, E, G, K, S, E, G. Now find out what is K, S, E, G here in these words. Is there any relationship between K, S, E, G used in the codes and the words here? K, S, E, G. What I observe is K, S, E, and G are the last letters of each of these words. So could be that we are just picking up the last letter of the word in the code. For us to be sure about it, just check the remaining statements as well. Like here it is K, K, R, S. If I see, we have K, K, R, and S. Yes, it works. G, E, and R. We have got G, E, and R. Yes. N, G, E. We have got N, G, and E. So clearly the letter used in the code is nothing but the last letter of the word. Now using this, maybe you will be able to answer the questions. For example, you don't have to go for the next step, like finding out the number or finding out the symbol, the logic behind the number and logic behind the symbol. This itself can give you the answer. So just check it. For example, you look at this. What is the code for Duke? Now the word Duke's last letter is E. So the code should have E in it. Yeah, star 9E, copyright 9E, hashtag 9E. All 3 have got E in it. But then, since the word Duke is in the first statement here, its code should also be there in the first statement. And the only code which has got E in it in the first statement is copyright 9E. This is K, S, and G. So I can straight away link Duke to copyright 9E, and my answer is option B. I will not be able to eliminate any option here, but since we directly know the code for Duke is copyright 9E, I can take option B as the answer. Right? Let's look at the next question as well, and then we will try to work on the other logic, like what is the logic behind the number and what's the logic behind symbol, if there is anything. So next one here is the code %17n denotes which of the following word. %17n. Now clearly the letter used here is n. So I can say that the last letter of the word should be n. Last letter of the word should be n. Here you see smart options. All the options end with n. So that method will not help. Which means we will now have to identify the remaining part of the logic, which is the logic behind the number. How are these numbers arrived at 10, 10, 17, 22 or 15, 24, 9, 11 and so on. Let me give you the logic behind this. Like for example, if you see Duke has been coded as copyright 9E. We know how this E has been arrived at. What is E? This E is this E. The last letter of the word is used as the letter in the code. How did we get 9? How do we get 9? 9, simple. The number of letters are 4 and the position of E is 5. So here this 9 represents what? Number of letters 4, which is the number of letters, right? Duke has got 4 letters, plus 5, which is the E's position. That's what gives us 9. If you want, you can verify for the other words also. For example, I know that the code for flag is asterisk 11G, because it is G and this also has G. Now how do we get 11? Flag has got 4 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4 letters, and the position of G is 7. 4 plus 7 is 11. So you can check for any letter. For example, dance. Can you tell me what should be the number for dance? Dance has got 5 letters in it, and the position of the last letter E is also 5. 5 plus 5, 10. So the code for dance should have 10 in it. Okay, so 10 is there in 2 of the codes, but then the code of dance should end with E. So I can say dance is coded as copyright 10E. What's the code for, let's say, rung, R-U-N-G? G is 7th position, and there are 4 letters, 7 plus 4, 11. So now, based on the number also, I can find out the codes. You getting it? Suppose you want the position of paper. How do you get the position of paper? I mean the number of paper, number in the code for paper. R is the 18th letter and paper has got 5 letters. 18 plus 5, 23. 18 plus 5, 23. Now if you are wondering, how would you know that this is the logic behind the coding and decoding question asked here? Let me be very honest, I did not get this. The one who framed this question told me that this is a logic, and that's why I'm able to explain you. That's the reason I always say the only way to solve questions from coding and decoding is trial and error. And that's the reason I always say you better skip these questions if you're unable to crack the logic in the first 15, 20, 30 seconds. You getting it? Now you understand what I mean when I say skip? Because there is no guarantee that you'll be able to get the logic. How did I get it? I did not get it. Let me tell you, this 4 plus 5 and all, I'll not be able to beat my head and get this logic. That 9 is equal to 4, which is the number of letters in the word, plus 5, the position of E. No. I can't do this. It's out of my capacity. The one who framed this question told me that this is the logic he has used. And paper setter can use any logic. Logic की कमी नहीं है ना. Infinite logics are there. You can use whatever you want to. That's the reason. You better skip it if you're unable to crack it. But since these days these questions are being asked for 5 marks, it becomes important that you try it out. And like I said, most of the times by identifying the logic behind the letter or the logic behind the number, you will be able to answer at least some questions, if not all. Right? Now again, if you ask me how should we finally realize that D is or the code for Duke is copyright? Simple. D they have prefixed. Wherever there is D, it should be starting with copyright. You can check that. Like for example, doors also starts with copyright, you see. For D the code is copyright. Dance, you see, dance the code was copyright any, right? Why? Because D has been prefixed as copyright. Now who will know D has been prefixed as copyright? Only the one who has framed this question will know. Others who have cracked the logic behind number and letter will know. You getting it? So it is near to impossible in the exam to get such logics given in the limited time basically. Okay. Anyway, let's solve the next one also, right? So look at the next question. The code for percentage 17n denotes the following words. Now percentage 17n, if it is a part of this whole set, I will be able to answer the question. Otherwise, I'll say cannot be determined, because n is the last letter of the word. Fun has got n, run has got n, pen has got n, and there are some 1 million other words which have got n in the end. I can't decide it. But then check, is percentage 17n a part of this? Yes, percentage 17n is here. Now, if I look at the number 17, what should I know? See, 17 should be equal to number of letters plus the position of n. Position of n is what? 14. Yes or no? Which means I can say that the number of letters in the word should be 3. That is for sure. So by looking at percentage 17n, the only thing I know is the word will have 3 letters and the last letter of the word will be n. All 3 satisfy. So strictly answer should be cannot be determined, can't be determined, but then the same code percentage 17n has been used here. So you should try it out. Percentage 17n, the 3-letter word that we have here in the respective statement is pen. Ends with n, n. 3 letters plus 14, 17, yes. And maybe p is percentage. I mean, when you work further, you will know that, okay, p is always coded as percentage. So answer here is option C. But suppose I say the code is, let's say for example, let me think of a symbol. The code is copyright 17n. Then what's the answer? Cannot be determined. Why cannot be determined? Here again I can only say that the word will end with n. The word will have 3 letters because 17 is 14 plus 3. 14 is the position of n, so 3 should be the number of letters. But I do not know what is cap. Cap could be for any letter. And I will also not know what's the middle letter. You getting it? So if the code does not belong to the set of codes here, answer should be cannot be determined. If it belongs to the set of codes here, then you will try and find it out. You will try to find it out. So that's how you solve these type of coding and decoding questions. You may ask me, what is the smart method of solving these questions? I don't know. I am afraid that I don't have a smart method. The only smartness I can show is if I am unable to break the logic in 30 seconds, I'll leave it. I'll try other questions first. I mean, why do I try something which I have no control on? I mean, who would know that last letter of the word, numerical position of the last letter of the word, plus the number of letters in the word should be the number in the code? That's one abstract way of looking at it. I mean, I can make it even more complex. I can say the number in the code is obtained by taking the numerical positions of the vowels in the word and numerical positions of consonants minus 1 of the consonants in the word. Life will become miserable for us to find the logic out. I'll be able to answer it because I know the logic. Why do I know the logic? Because I frame the logic. You would not know. As simple as that. Okay, so give it a try. I don't say skip it immediately. Give it a try. It's doable. I'm not saying it's not doable, but it can be very tricky. It can get very tricky. So you have to be careful about it. Okay. So let's take up the next question. I'm sure all of you have got the point. If there's any query, please post it here. Else I'll take up the next question. Vijay says, if you consider that you don't know the logic behind number, how did you decide that B option for Duke instead of cannot be determined? Because Duke was a word used in the statements, Vijay, and there was and out of the given 4 codes on the right hand side, I knew that there's only one code which matches with Duke because of the last letter E. So it is clear that that should be the code. Otherwise, it cannot be determined. When we do not know the logic behind number and the logic behind the symbol, you cannot determine. But like I said, Duke, and in fact the second question also, the code that was used, both were from among the given words and among the given codes. So we should be able to mark the answer. Otherwise, cannot be determined. Okay, let me take up the next question. Now, the next one is interesting. This is from SSC CGL pattern actually. These kind of questions are asked in the SSC exams, CGL, CHSL, CPO, MTS and stuff like that. Find the number of triangles in the given figure. Interesting one. I mean, again, there's no way to answer such questions other than counting out the number of triangles. Or there are certain patterns where we can use a formula, which have been discussed in our video. So, if you are looking for shortcut formulae, which I don't suggest, but then if you're looking for shortcut formulae, there are some formulae for certain types of patterns when the figure is like really symmetric and things like that. So refer to our videos under miscellaneous questions. Here it is one such question where you have to find out the number of triangles. So presenting it to you, try to count the number of triangles and mark the answer. Your time starts now. Counting it. 17. Did you all get 17? Yes. Now I think for such questions, elimination is the technique. I have discussed this in the videos as well, that you may not know what the final answer is, but you should definitely know what the wrong answers are. Like for example, the moment I get 10 triangles, I should know that option D cannot be the answer. The moment I get 14 triangles, I should know that option C and option D cannot be the answers. Right? It should either be 15 or 17. And if you have already spent like 30-45 seconds in counting the triangles, then make a guess between the two options and mark the answer. Don't leave it in the middle after that. Chalo, shall we take it up? Let's take it up. Here we go. Find the number of triangles in the given figure. Like I said, there are certain patterns for which we can use a formula and get the answer, but this does not belong to that pattern. It's a random figure. You see, it is symmetric, but then there is a random design here. So you can't use any formula. All you have to do is count. And the one thing that you have to keep in mind is eliminate the options once you get something more than the given numbers here. Like for example, the moment we get 10 triangles, you should know that option D cannot be the answer. The moment you got 16 triangles, you should know that B, C, D cannot be the answer, and hence answer is option A. Right? So that's what you need to keep in mind. Now, I had mentioned in the videos that the best way to count the triangles is to actually number each of the smaller parts first of all. Each of the smallest parts first of all. Because most of the times what happens is if you count like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and all this, right? After a while you will get confused. Did I count this triangle or not? And because of that confusion you have to start over again. So simple. Number it. Use letters instead. Use A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So each part, each smallest part has been numbered. Each smallest triangle has been numbered here. Now count the triangles. Now, first of all, number of triangles. See, if you observe, actually each part itself is a triangle. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. All these are triangles. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. All these are independent triangles, right? That's there. Now let's go. So 8. These are 8 triangles. I'm sure there is this 9th triangle, there is this 10th triangle, 11th triangle. So immediately I will eliminate D because there are definitely more than 9 triangles. Yeah? Now let's count the triangles which are formed by joining 2 pieces. These are all single pieces. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H are all single pieces. Now join 2 pieces to frame bigger triangles. For example, AB. AB makes a triangle. CD makes a triangle. Right? CD is a triangle. EF is a triangle. GH is also a triangle. Yes, sir? AB is one triangle, CD is another triangle, EF is a triangle, GH is a triangle. Now, if you see, AC is also a triangle. AC, A plus C. BD is a triangle, B plus D. Yes or no? Any other combinations? No. And now, before that, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 independent triangles and 6 combinations A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, A, C, B, D. Are there any other combinations possible? EC, no. EC does not be a triangle. DG are not possible, right? AC is a combination. Achha, AC we have already considered. BD is also considered. Yeah. So I got excited unnecessarily, right? AC, BD are already considered. A, B, C is also considered. Yeah. So 8 and 6, 14 are already there, which means C is also eliminated. Yes or no? Now count bigger portions. Can I say, let's say I'll name this as vertex. I mean, these are X, Y, Z are vertices. Let me say this is O. If you observe, X, O, Z is a triangle. Y, O, Z is also a triangle. I've already got 2. 8 plus 6, 14. 14 plus 2, 16. Which means this also is wrong. Answer has to be A. I have not got 17 triangles yet. We have not got 17 triangles yet. But I've already got 16. Which means B, C, D are wrong answers. And by the way, X, Y, Z is the third triangle. 3. So 8 and 6, 14 plus 3, total 17 triangles. By the way, XOZ can also be considered as ACEF. This is nothing but ACEF. YOZ is what? BDGH. BDGH. And XYZ is all ABCDEFGH. A2H. That makes it XYZ. So total 17 triangles. So remember, the best way to solve such questions is to number each of the parts, right? Smallest of the parts, and then take the combinations of all those parts, single parts, combination of two parts, combination of three parts, and count the number of combinations that you have got, right? If you try to do direct counting, some people try to trace the triangles and then count. Most of the times we get confused after a point, because one is the figure becomes so cluttered and messy that you will, in fact, miss out some of the lines and legs of the figure there, and moreover you will get confused कि ये already count किया या नहीं किया. If you see, overwriting is already there, but that could be for that part or some other part also, right? So to avoid that confusion, keep this figure neat. Just name each of the parts and count the combinations based on the naming that you have used. Okay, so 17 triangles in this figure. Okay, Abhishek says something. Please correct the error machine input output. Third question answer is option B, since all converted to B in the 6th step. Okay, Abhishek, I missed your comment earlier. You are referring to something from machine input output, question number 3. He's saying correct the error. Third question answer is option B, since all converted to A converted to B in 6th step. Penultimate step he has asked, right? Penultimate step is 5th step. In the 5th step, I have 30, 44, 51, 79, 86. 30, 44, 51, 79, 86. 29, yes. Then A, W, R, P, H, F. A, W, R, P, H, F. How do you say answer is option incorrect? D only, right? Both 2 and 3 are correct. Abhishek, I am not sure of what you're saying. Error in third question, you say. Answer is option B. Why do you say answer is option B? Okay, let me just check 1 second. Since all got converted to B in sixth step. Yeah, it got converted to B in sixth step, but in fifth step it was A only, no? Okay, but it cannot be action. Oh, right. I'm so sorry about this. This is a bad error, and thanks to Abhishek for pointing this out. Good. Let me go back to this question. So, guys, there is an error in the solution that we have chosen for question number 3 here. Let me correct it. Answer is not D, answer should be B. This was pointed out by our friend Abhishek, and that's a very, very good pick, Abhishek. Option B is correct, C would be incorrect. Why C incorrect? See, we only looked at the first letters, which is actually the right thing to do, but one important observation is this fifth letter A here represented which word? All. It got changed to B only in sixth step, right? So A actually means all. So here A cannot become action. It should be all only here. So since it is action, this C is ruled out. Option B has to be the answer. Correct. So the answer for this question has to be option B and not D. Since 3 is wrong, both 2 and 3 cannot be correct. Okay. Option B is the answer. Option B is the correct answer. I missed that. Option B is the correct answer because both are A, but the actual word is all. Since the word did not get changed yet, you cannot change all to action. It should be all. So option B is the answer. Thank you, Abhishek, for bringing that up. A very good pick. I missed that. Didn't I show the screen? Uh-oh. Okay, I didn't show the question, I guess. Check this. Right, we were looking at let me explain this to you. Hold on. Let me explain it once again. Okay, so the point that I'm making, guys, here is the answer that we have chosen for question number 3 here is incorrect. It should not be D. It has to be option B. I'll tell you why this error in my answer. This was pointed out by our friend Abhishek here. See, we had chosen B or C because 30, 44, 51, 79, 86, 29 all match the sequence here in penultimate step. 30, 44, 51, 79, 86 and 29. So all the numbers match. Then we looked at the letter A. See, everything mapped actually. He's asking us to find the fifth step. The fifth step had A, W, R, P, H, F. So here it is A, W, R, P, H, F. Here also it has A, W, R, P, H, F. But then if you see the word A here, the letter A here represents the word all, which never got changed. A will change to B only in the last step because that was the last letter as per the reverse alphabetic order, right? So A should represent all. Here, while the letter is correct, the word is action, and this is where the error is. It should represent all. That's the reason. See, W can represent any word, worries or wonder. R can represent any word, related or related. P can be program or prize. H can be has or hype. F can be floor fixing. But A has to be all. It cannot be action, or it can be any other. It cannot be any other word other than all. So that's the reason C is incorrect. And hence, both 2 and 3 are correct, which we marked initially is also becoming wrong because 3 is wrong. Answer should be B. Answer has to be B. So please make that correction. Option B is the answer for question number 3 here. Clear? Yeah, eagle's eye. Abhishek, good job, man. Look at the appreciation that you've got from your friends here. Should we go for the next one? I think the last question that we'll take up for the session today is going to be a rectangular arrangement. Right, so let me present the question to you all now. The next question, which is going to be a rectangular arrangement. There's one more question that I have, which is a complex circular arrangement. Really complex, let me tell you. 8 choices before you can finally get to the answer. So I hope you all know the best way to solve that would be to skip it in the exam. Given the limitation of time, I'll not be able to take it up today, but hopefully tomorrow when we meet for our weekly doubts clarification on aptitude and reasoning, I'll try to take this up. This was asked in your last all-India mock exam, in fact, where we have 8 persons and 8 magazines, and you have to arrange the persons around a circular table and locate the right magazines. So I'll take that up maybe tomorrow. Today, let us very quickly try a question on rectangular arrangement. 8 women have to be arranged on a rectangular table. So I'll present the question to you all. Let me quickly give you the context here. So 8 women, Preeti, Bhavna, Amrita, Juhi, Madhuri, Sanjana, Ragini and Madhu are sitting around a rectangular table. 4 of them sit at the middle of the side of the table and face the center, while 4 of them sit at the corner of the table and they face outside from the center. The age of all the 4 women sitting at the corner of the table is a multiple of 3, and the age of all the 4 women who sit at the middle of the table is a multiple of 4. So see complexity here, 8 women, rectangular table. 4 of them sit at the middle, 4 sit at the corner. Those who sit in the middle face the center. Those who sit in the corner face outside. Those who sit in the middle have an age which is a multiple of 4. Those who sit at the corner have an age which is a multiple of 3. So you have to arrange the women around the rectangular table, find out whether they are facing center or outwards, and find out what's the age of each of these women. So I think clearly a complex one. You can try it out. You've got 5 minutes for this. I should give you at least 5 minutes for this, and your clock starts now. Now I'm gonna keep quiet for the next 5 minutes. I want all of you to focus and get this up. Well, you know the best way to solve this is skip it in the exam, but here you have to practice. So I'm putting the audio on mute. Don't worry that the audio is not working. It's not working because I have put it on mute, right? It's muted. All of you try it out. I'll see you in 5 to 10 minutes. All right, the time is up. I have given you more than 5 minutes, in fact. Let me quickly see how many of you have been able to crack this. Well, Rupa says she's puzzled in the last part. Nilab seems to have got it. Bhargav says 17, which I don't understand. Who else has got this? नीरज says कुछ पता चला कहाँ से शुरू करना है. So Girish says last third line. Okay. Nishi says, please take my question from the forum. It is on puzzle. Well, Nishi, I'll try and take it up in the next session, which is tomorrow. Doubts clarification. Just bear with us for some more time. Anybody else who's got it? It was really complex, is what Surya Prakash says. So I want to know the status before we start solving it. Let me, all of you, tell me what is happening at your end. Whether you've got it, not got it. I'm sure you're smart guys and you'll skip it in the exam. But for my understanding, I wouldn't like to know how many of you have been able to crack it. Harsha has solved it. Selvi has done it. Looks like Mona has also got it. She says Amrita 75, Ragini 20, Madhuri 69 and so on. Harsha says I couldn't find the age of Ragini and Preeti. Okay. Paras Tyagi is struck, Milan is struck, Sugeta is struck, Rani, Divya, Vidya stuck. Anil is stuck. Okay, almost done is not done. There's a huge difference between almost done and done. Partially done is also not done. So stuck. Nishi, Trilochan, Pawan Kumar, Praveen. Good. You guys should keep me posted. I mean, doesn't matter if you have not been able to crack it. There's nothing wrong if you tell me that you have not got it. 80% is incomplete. See, I don't want to disappoint you guys, but understand this. Either a solution or there is no solution. It can't be part solution and stuff like that, because that's where the problem lies, right? You'll not be able to decide one particular piece there, which makes it incomplete. Unless the questions are framed in such a way that answer can be either or, right? Oh, by the way, I have got to know that these machine input output questions, the answer has to be cannot be determined, because you cannot decide on the words. I'm really sorry, I was not too sure about it, so I said I'll check and get back to you guys later. Answers have to be cannot be determined. So let me quickly fix that first. I'll just share the screen and tell you about this machine input output questions. Answers here have to be cannot be determined. Like for example, I'm sorry about all these errors that I've committed today here. In this question number 1, we said blind and 28. It cannot be the answer because all we know is it is B, 28. But what is the word starting with B is not known, so cannot be determined. This is definitely correct. 29 is the answer. Here it should be again cannot be determined because we can only fix this W, R, P, H, F. There can be millions of possibilities for those words. So this also cannot be determined. Right? So I think answer to question number 1 and question number 3 changes to cannot be determined. Option E and option E. Right? Cannot be determined for 1 and 3. Please make a note of this, because the final result should be a word starting with B, 28. But there are many words which can start with B. How do we know it's blind? We don't know. So cannot be determined. Similarly, in this case, we know that the penultimate step will be 30, 44, 51, 79, 86, 29. All. Then word starting with W, word starting with R, word starting with P, word starting with H, and word starting with F. And there can be many such words. So cannot be determined. Remaining are correct. I mean, of course, this is depending on number, right? So it's correct, 29 and 50. Okay, so please make a note of that. Now let us take this up. Let's give it a try. Looks like it's a complex one. Given that many of you have not been able to solve it, let me try it with all of you now. Should we take it now? Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's take this up. Here's the question. Study the following information carefully and answer the questions given below. 8 women, Preeti, Bhavna, Amrita, Juhi, Madhuri, Sanjana, Ragini and Madhu are sitting around a rectangular table. 4 of them sit at middle of the side of the table and face the center, while 4 of them sit at the corner of the table and they face outside from the center. The age of all the 4 women who sit at the corner of the table is multiple of 3, and the age of all the 4 women who sit at the middle of the table is a multiple of 4. So understand the complexity of the question. 8 women. Okay, I don't mean to say that women is a complexity. But yeah, 8 women have to be arranged around a rectangular table. Rectangular table. Now, rectangular table is also a closed loop. Whether it is a circular table or rectangular table, the rules are same. When a person is facing center, left is anti-clockwise, right is clockwise. When a person is facing outwards, left is anti-clockwise and right is clockwise. But what changes when it comes to a rectangular table is, while it is a closed loop, there are different types of sides. See, in a circle, there is no side. Everything is uniform, right? It's all, what do we say, symmetric. But here in rectangular, I can say longer sides, shorter sides, corners, middles and all that. So that makes it like one more level of complexity. Okay. Now the question here says 4 of them sit. See, that's the point, right? 4 of them sit in the middle of the sides and they face center, while 4 of them sit at the corner and face outside. So those who are sitting in the middle of the sides are facing center like this. And those who are sitting at the corner, the other 4 are facing outwards, 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 outwards and outwards. The age of all the 4 women who sit at the corner of the table is a multiple of 3. So those who are sitting at the corners, their ages are multiples of 3, into 3, into 3, into 3 and so on. Those who are sitting outside, so those who are sitting in the middle of the table, their age is a multiple of 4. So this person's age will be a multiple of 4, this will be a multiple of 4, this will be a multiple of 4 and this will be a multiple of 4. So that's the complexity. Right? Now, look at the clues. Madhuri sits third to the right of Preeti. Preeti faces the center. There are 2 ladies between Madhuri and the one whose age is 52 and so on. So, let me create some space to try out the various possibilities. Okay, so let's try it out now. I'm sure you've got the context. 8 women. There is nothing to be associated with them other than their age. Ages are either multiples of 3 or multiples of 4. For those who are sitting at corner, multiple of 3. For those who are sitting in the middle, multiples of 4. Those who are sitting in the middle are facing center. Those who are sitting at corner are facing outside. Okay. So let me first draw a rectangular table. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me draw a smaller table because in case we get multiple possibilities, I should be able to accommodate all of them. Rectangular table, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 positions. You know that those who are in the corner of the table are facing outside. So these people are facing outside. What's the rule? When a person is facing outside, left is anti-clockwise, right is clockwise. The people who are sitting in the middle are facing center. The people who are sitting in the middle, you see, are facing the center. Now for these people who are facing center, the ages are multiples of 4. People who are facing outwards, ages are multiple of 3. Look at this point. Madhuri sits third to the right of Preeti. Madhuri sits third to the right of Preeti. Now, how will you decide right of Preeti? Right of Preeti can be clockwise or anti-clockwise depending on Preeti's direction, inwards or outwards, right? Preeti faces the center. Now, this point makes it clear. Preeti faces center. If Preeti is facing center, Preeti should be in one of these 4 positions. Yes or no? We can take anywhere we want. We can fix Preeti's place here, right? Preeti is here, let's say. Madhuri sits third to the right of Preeti. Now third to the right of Preeti is decided. Preeti is facing center, right is anti-clockwise. So third to the right. 1, 2, 3. Right? Preeti's position is fixed. Now don't get confused as to where exactly will Preeti will come. This center, this center, this center or this center. Doesn't matter. Fix Preeti's position, accordingly fix everybody else's position. So Preeti is here, Madhuri is third to the right of Preeti. So first, right is anti-clockwise, so first, second, third. Madhuri comes here. Okay. Next, there are two ladies who sit between Madhuri and the one whose age is 52. Two ladies between Madhuri and the 52-year-old lady. Madhuri is here, 52-year-old lady, 1, 2, it can come here, 52 years, or 1, 2, it can come 52 years. All we know is two positions between Madhuri and 52. Right or not? So 52 can either come here or it can come here. I think we are better off taking two possibilities, one with 52 in this position, the other with 52 in this position. He said there are three ladies between Madhu and Bhavna whose age is 76 years. And see, 52 can actually come in both the places. These center facing positions should be multiples of 4, right? So this is a center facing position. 52 is a multiple of 4. It's a multiple of 4. So it should come either here or here. Right? 52 cannot come in the corner positions. Anyway, with respect to Madhuri also, 52 will either come here or here. But two possibilities are there. There are three ladies between Madhu and Bhavna whose age is 76 years. There are three ladies between Madhu and Bhavna whose age is 76 years. Okay, let me keep this on hold, the second statement, for some time. Look at the third statement. There are three ladies between Madhu and Bhavna whose age is 76 years. See, whose here refers to whom? Bhavna. Bhavna's age is 76 years. Bhavna is 76 years old. Okay. Understand, the fact that Bhavna is 76 years old makes it clear that Bhavna will be sitting at the middle of the rectangular table. Bhavna cannot be taking a corner position because corner guys have got their ages as multiple of 3. Only the ladies who are sitting in the middle have got their ages as multiple of 4. Bhavna's age is 76. 76 is a multiple of 4. So Bhavna should be sitting in the middle of the table. So Bhavna can come 1, 2 or 3 places. But then the statement here is there are three ladies between Madhu and Bhavna. Remember, I have told you in an arrangement where there are 8 persons, in an 8-person arrangement, when we say there are 3 persons between A and B, then A and B have to be opposite. If we say there are 3 persons between R and S have to be opposite in an 8-persons arrangement. If we say there are 3 persons between K and let's say X, then K and X have to be opposite. So here when he said there are 3 ladies between Madhu and Bhavna have to be seated opposite. And since Bhavna is to be sitting in the middle, why will Bhavna sit in the middle side? Middle of the side, because Bhavna's age is 76, which is a multiple of 4. Multiple of 4 refers to the middle of the side. The two places that I can fix is these two. Madhu and Bhavna. See, Madhu here, or let's say Bhavna. Bhavna cannot come here because opposite. You getting me? Madhu and Bhavna have to be opposite. So Bhavna cannot come here because opposite side is already occupied by Preeti. Then Madhu cannot come there. If Bhavna comes here, this should be Madhu. But this is Preeti. So Bhavna cannot come here. If Bhavna comes here, 1, 2, 3, Madhu. Or either ways, 1, 2, 3, Madhu has to come here. Or if Bhavna sits in this position, 1, 2, 3, Madhu comes here. Or 1, 2, 3, Madhu comes here. So one point is very clear. In an 8-person arrangement, when there are 3 persons between, let's say, person 1 and person 2, then person 1 and person 2 have to be opposite. So Bhavna can either come here or come here. Accordingly, Madhu will take the opposite position. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are center facing positions. These are outward facing positions. This is Madhuri. This is Preeti. In one case, let me take Bhavna and Madhu. In the other case, let me take Madhu and Bhavna. Okay, and I know that Bhavna's age is 76. So this is 76. This is 76. So this part is also done, that there are 3 ladies between Madhu and Bhavna whose age is 76. Yeah. In fact, like you may say, I have taken 2 choices here. Why didn't I take 2 choices for the previous statement? We could have done that also. There are 2 ladies between Madhuri and 52, right? So Madhuri is fixed. 52 can either come here, either it can come here. Two ladies, right? 1, 2, 52 can come here, or 1, 2, 52 can come here. That also could have been taken. I mean, you have to start somewhere. Either take choices for the third statement or take choices for the second statement. I think we should quickly do one reading of the statement so that we know if there are any concrete information given. One of the immediate neighbor of Madhu is 69 years old. One of the immediate neighbors of Madhu is 69 years old. Amrita sits second to the left of the one whose age is 69 years old. Only one lady sits between Amrita and Sanjana. The age of the one who sits second to the right of Sanjana is 1 year less than Bhavna. Okay, Bhavna's age is known to us, right? 76. So age of the one who sits second to the right of Sanjana is 1 year less than Bhavna. What is 1 year less than Bhavna? 1 year less than Bhavna is 75. So I can say now the age of the one who sits second to the right of Sanjana is 75. Bhavna's age is 76 fixed. 1 year less than Bhavna is 75. The age of the age of one of the immediate neighbor of the one whose age is 75 is 4 years less than to the difference between the age of Bhavna and Preeti. So complex statement. The age of one of the immediate neighbor of the one whose age is 75 years is 4 years less than the difference between the age of Bhavna and Preeti. Preeti's age is not known to us. Bhavna's age is 76, Preeti's age is not known. So you have to take the difference between Preeti's and Bhavna's age, then 4 years less than that. That will become the neighbor, one of the neighbors of 75 years old lady. Complex one to start with. Juhi is not an immediate neighbor of Madhuri. Juhi is not an immediate neighbor of Madhuri. Okay. The age of one of them is 21 years, but she is not an immediate neighbor of Bhavna. Okay. The age of one of them is 21 years, but she is not an immediate neighbor of Bhavna. See, since the age is 21 years, it's a corner person. 21 is a multiple of 3, corner person. So age of one of them is 21 years, but she is not a neighbor of Bhavna. So if I look at case 2, 21 years cannot be this or this positions. Yes or no? Because it should not be neighbor of Bhavna. 21 years should be this Madhuri or this person here. Similarly, 21 years cannot be for Madhuri or here, this person, because 21 is not a neighbor of Bhavna. 21 should either come here or here. So multiple possibilities. The age of Madhu is a perfect square and her age lies between Preeti and Bhavna. Okay. Age of Madhu is a perfect square. Age of Madhu is a perfect square and her age lies between Preeti and Bhavna. Okay. The age of Juhi is 1 year less than that the age of Madhu. I think we should first find out the age of Madhu. First find the age of Madhu. Then we can find the age of Juhi and maybe that will help. Yeah, so I think what we have done so far is we fixed Preeti and Madhuri based on the first 2 sentences. Then we got this statement which says there are 3 ladies between Madhu and Bhavna. So we fixed Madhu and Bhavna with the 2 choices that we had. Right? You're able to follow. We got 2 choices because we knew Madhu and Bhavna are opposite to each other and Bhavna's age is 76. So it can be Madhu here and Bhavna on the right hand side, or Bhavna on the left hand side and Madhu on the right hand side. So we have fixed that. Now let's see something else. I think this statement here, there are 2 ladies between Madhuri and the one whose age is 52. There are 2 ladies between Madhuri and the one whose age is 52. See, Madhuri is fixed. So there are 2 ladies between Madhuri and 52. 2 ladies between Madhuri and 52. So Madhuri, it can be dash dash 52 for Madhu or dash dash 52 for Preeti. So 2 possibilities are there. Similarly, Madhuri is fixed here, dash dash 52 here is not possible. In the second case, if we see, we know that there are 2 ladies between Madhuri and 52. So Madhuri is here, dash dash 52 is not possible because this is Bhavna who is already 76 years old. So it should be dash dash 52. So in this case, Preeti's age is 52. In the previous case, Madhuri dash dash 52, Madhu can be 52 or dash dash Preeti can be 52. But then, remember, somewhere it said the age of Madhu is a perfect square. The age of Madhu is a perfect square. So can 52 come here? No. 52 cannot come for Madhu. There are 2 persons between Madhuri and 52. Madhuri dash dash 52 cannot come here because Madhu's age should be a perfect square. 52 is not a perfect square. So 52 will not come here. Which means Madhuri dash dash 52 is final. So Preeti is 52 years old. That's final in both the cases. So this sentence is also done. You getting it? So that complexity of choice between 52, choice of 52 between Madhuri and Preeti is ruled out now because we know that, Madhu and Preeti is ruled out now because Madhu's age has to be a perfect square. Yeah? Okay, now read this statement again. The age of Madhu is a perfect square and her age lies between Preeti and Bhavna. Preeti is 52, Bhavna is 76. The perfect square between Preeti and Bhavna is 64. I mean, between 52 and 76 is 64. Yes or no? The only perfect square between 52 and 76 is 64. 49, 64, 81, right? So 64, which means the age of Madhu is 64. Madhu is 64. Fixed. Madhu is 64. Right? The age of Juhi is 1 year less than that of Madhu. Age of Juhi is 1 year less than that of Madhu. Implies what? Juhi is 63. Because Madhu is 64, Juhi should be 63. Right? Let's try to break this statement. Somewhere it said, you see this statement, no? Age of Bhavna is 76, age of Preeti. What is the age of Preeti? 52. Now read this statement. The age of one of the immediate neighbors of the one whose age is 75 years is 4 years less than the difference between Bhavna and Preeti. See, Bhavna is 76, Preeti is 52. The difference between Bhavna and Preeti, meaning 76 and 52, is how much? 24. So I can say the difference between the age of Bhavna and Preeti, 76 minus 52 is 24. So 24. Now read the statement again. The age of one of the immediate neighbors of the one whose age is 75 years is 4 years less than 24. 4 years less than 24. 4 years less than 24. What is 4 years less than 24? 4 years less than 24 is 20. So it is 20. You understand? The age of one of the immediate neighbor of the one whose age is 75 years is 20. The age of one of the immediate neighbors of the one whose age is 75 years is 20. Important statement. The age of one of the immediate neighbor of the one whose age is 75 is 20. So somebody is 20 years old. Somebody in this gang is 20 years old. 20 years old has to be a multiple of 4. I mean 20 years is a multiple of 4, which means that 20-year-old person should be a middle wala person. See, 76, 52, 64, all are multiples of 4, middle persons. 64, 52, 20. So 20 years should come here. Whoever that person has to come here. 20. Similarly, in case 2 also, 20 has to come here. So the age of one of the immediate neighbors of the one whose age is 75 is 20. So basically 75 and 20 are neighbors. That's what it says. The age of one of the immediate neighbors of 75 is 20. So 75 and 20 are neighbors. 75 and 20 are neighbors. So 75, either Madhuri should be 75 or this lady should be 75. Even in second case, either Madhuri should be 75 or this lady who sits here should be 75. Sorry. You getting it? We know that 75, the age of one of the immediate neighbors of the one whose age is 75 years is 20. Which means what? 75 and 20 are neighbors. That's what it means. The whole meaning of that statement is this. Since 20 is fixed here, how did we fix 20 in this position? Because 20 is a multiple of 4 and multiple of 4 should come in the middle of the sides. Already the 3 other middle of the sides, they're blocked. 64, 52, 76. 64, 52, 76. So the only middle side available was the top side, 20. So 75 should either come here for Madhuri or it should come here in this position. 75 should come here for Madhuri or in this position. That's the meaning. One of those two positions. I think this statement makes no sense. Juhi is not an immediate neighbor of Madhuri, doesn't help us. Because, see, we have already evaluated Juhi is 63 years old. And 63-year-old wala person will come in the corner. Madhuri is also a corner person. So how can two corner persons be neighbors? So if you actually see this statement, Juhi is not an immediate neighbor of Madhuri, is a useless statement. I don't need that. Because even without that, I can say Juhi is not a neighbor of Madhuri. Yes or no? Even without that statement, Juhi cannot be neighbor of Madhuri because one neighbor of Madhuri is Bhavna. The other neighbor should be 20 years old. I know that Juhi is 63. Even in second case, one neighbor of Madhuri is Madhu, 64 years. The other neighbor should be 20 years old. So Juhi cannot come there because Juhi is 63. So this statement is useless. Look at the next statement. The age of one of them is 21 years. See, age of one of them is 21 years itself should tell you that this person is a corner person because 21 is a multiple of 3. Age of one of them is 21 years. Means it's a corner person. But she is not an immediate neighbor of Bhavna. So 21 years person is not a neighbor of Bhavna. 21 cannot come in these two positions. So either Madhuri or this person. Similarly, 21 is not a neighbor of Bhavna. So either 21 comes here or here. The age of one of them is 21 years, but she is not an immediate neighbor of Bhavna. So 21 should not be neighbor of Bhavna. 21 should not be neighbor of Bhavna. So 21 can be either this corner or this corner. Yes or no? Similarly, 21 should not be neighbor of Bhavna, right? So 21 should either be this corner, meaning Madhuri, or this corner, whoever that person here is. So you're getting it. 75 ke we have two choices, Madhuri or this person. 21 also we have two choices, this person or this person. In the second case, 75, there are two choices, Madhuri or this person. 21 we have got two choices. So I think the last part of the question is already done. We have almost underlined all the statements, right? What else is there? One of the immediate neighbor of Madhu is 69 years old. This is one more complexity. One of the immediate neighbors of Madhu is 69 years old. Madhu is here. So either this should be 16 or this should be 69. Madhu is here, right? Either this should be 69 or this should be 69. So many possibilities are there. One of the immediate neighbor of Madhu is 69 years old. One of the immediate neighbors of Madhu is 69 years old. One neighbor of Madhu is 69 years old. So Madhu is here. Either this is 69 or this is 69. Yes or no? One of the neighbors have to be 69. So either this is 69 or this is 69. In case 2 Madhu is here, one of the neighbors should be 69. So either Madhuri is 69 or this person is 69. One of the immediate neighbors of Madhu is 69 years old. So it can be 75 or 21 or 69. Any three can come here. It can be 75 or 21 or 69. Any three can come here. This can be 69 or 21. This can be 75. This can be 75. This can be 69 or 21. I think one thing is very clear from this. See, in terms of corner positions, the only position which has not got any number is this one, and that has to be 63 years. See, we know that Juhi is 63 years old, right? Look at this. We very well know that Juhi is 63 years old. If you observe, 75 will take one of these two positions, 21 will take one of these two positions, 69 will take one of these two positions, which means these three positions, these three corner positions, the top right, top left, and the bottom left, are blocked for 75, 21, and 69. 69 cannot come here. If you observe the other way, in the contrary way, can 75 come here? No, because 75 should be here or here. 75 cannot come here, bottom right. Can 21 come here? No, 21 should either be this or this. 21 cannot come here. Can 69 come here? No, 69 should either be this or this. So 75 cannot come, 21 cannot come, 69 cannot come. So the only number that can come here is 63. Because it has to be a multiple of 3, right? 75, 21, 69, all are multiples of 3. 63 is also multiple of 3. So only multiple of 3 which can come here is 63. Which means this is Juhi. Similarly, in the second case also if you observe, 75 will take, see 75 cannot come here because either this or this is 75. 21 cannot come here in the bottom left because either this is 21 or this is 21. 69 cannot come here in the bottom left because either this is 16 or this is 16. So this has to be 63, which means this is Juhi. So Juhi's position is also fixed. This is done. Indirectly this is done. Now look at this. Acha. But then the remaining 3 are still confusing. Amrita sits second to the left of the one who is 69 years old. Amrita sits second to the left of the one who is 69. So 69 here is here, right? Outward facing. Second to the left. Okay, try and use this statement. Maybe it will help. Amrita sits second to the left of the one who is 69. Amrita is second to the left of 69. Suppose you consider 69 here. There are two possibilities. 69 can come here in this position, top right or top left or bottom left. 69 can come in top left or bottom left. Amrita is second to the left of 69. See, for outward facing person, left is anti-clockwise. So if this is 69, Amrita can come here, possible. But if we take this as 69, suppose if we consider this to be 69 years, what happens? Amrita is second to the left. First and second, Amrita has to come here, which is not possible because Juhi is already sitting here. So which means this cannot be 69. 69 has to be here. And then this becomes Amrita. You're able to follow? You're able to follow? 69 is that and this is Amrita. Because if you take 69 here, Amrita has to come this side, second to the left of 69, which is already blocked by Juhi. So now 69 is fixed, forget about 69. So either, and since this is 69, it cannot be 75. So Madhuri has to be 75. 75 is also fixed. You understand? The moment 69 is fixed, 69 can be removed from both the places. Now 69 is coming here. If 69 is coming here, 75 cannot come here. 75 has to come here. And 21 cannot come here. So 21 has to come here. It is done. Only person left out is, I think, who's left out? Preeti, Bhavna, Amrita, Juhi, Madhuri, Sanjana. Ragini. Ragini's name has not come, right? Sanjana's name has also not come. So Sanjana or Ragini. Sanjana and Ragini will take these two. Anyway, let's try the second case. In the second case, what happens? Amrita, what was the statement we use? Amrita sits second to the left of 69. Suppose this is, this if you consider 69, this position if you take 69, what happens? If this is 69, Amrita is second to the left, meaning anti-clockwise. So 69, first and second. Can Amrita come here? No, because it's already blocked by Madhuri, which means 69 cannot come here. 69 has to come here. And if this is 69, between the two choices of 69, one is eliminated. So this is 69. We know that Amrita sits second to the left of 69. Second to the left of 69. First and second. This is Amrita. Now if you observe, since this is 69, 75 cannot come here. If 75 cannot come here, you're able to follow. If 69 has already been blocked for this position, 75 cannot come in this position. So 75 has to come in this position for Amrita. Similarly, 21 cannot come there because 69 is blocked. So 21 has to come in this position for whoever that person is. And now only two persons are left out, by the way, Sanjana and Ragini. So let's find out. One lady sits between Amrita and Sanjana. Use this statement. One lady sits between Amrita and Sanjana. So Amrita is here. One lady between Amrita and Sanjana. One lady here, and this is Sanjana. Which means this is Ragini. Similarly, in case 2, one lady sits between Amrita and Sanjana. Amrita is here. Dash Sanjana not possible. Dash Sanjana not possible. You see, this statement fails. One lady sits between Amrita and Sanjana fails in this case. Because Amrita's position is fixed. One lady sits between Amrita and Sanjana. Amrita dash Sanjana should come here. Not possible. Or Amrita dash Sanjana should come here. Even that's not possible. So this is a wrong arrangement. Done. I think we are done. So all the numbering has been done. You see, bottom Preeti 52, then Amrita 21, Madhu 64, Sanjana 69, Ragini 20, Madhuri 75, Bhavna 76, Juhi 63. I think case 1 is correct. I can clear all this unnecessary, not unnecessary, whatever markings we had done, those can be cleared. This is anyway wrong. Yeah. So the final answer is this box. This box that we have here. And looks like one statement is left. The age of the one who sits second to the right of Sanjana is 75. The age of the one who sits second to the right of Sanjana. Yes, that also is verified. You see, Sanjana is here, right? In case number 1. The age of the one who sits second to the right of Sanjana. Sanjana is here. First and second. Second to the right of Sanjana is 75. Verified. But then this statement we have not used at all. Which means even this is even this statement was not utilized by us. So Without using the full data itself, we were able to crack it. The age of the one who sits second to the right of Sanjana is 75. Sanjana is here, second to the right of Sanjana. Sanjana is outward facing, right? Right is clockwise. So first and second, Madhuri, 75. Verified or not? So if you see, if you read between the lines, right? Some of the statements are not even required. This statement, age of the one who sits second to the right of Sanjana and Juhi is not an immediate neighbor of Madhuri. Both these statements were not even used in our arrangement. I mean, without using those two statements, we could complete the arrangement. So this is the final answer. And now you can answer the questions very easily. What is the position of Juhi with respect to Ragini? Juhi with respect to Ragini. Where is Juhi? Juhi is here. With respect to Ragini. Ragini is here. See, Ragini is center facing. So 1, 2, 3. What does it become? Third to the left. For a center facing person, clockwise is left. So Ragini, 1, 2, 3. Juhi in the clockwise direction. So third to the left we can say. Juhi with respect to Ragini is third to the left. Option B. 4 of the following 5 are alike in a certain way and so form a group. Which one does not belong to that group? Which one does not belong to the group? Ragini 63, Madhu 76. Ragini 20, Madhu 64, Preeti 20. What is the logic here? Ragini 63. Ragini is here. Where is 63? Okay. Madhu 76. Madhu 76. Preeti 20. Preeti 20. Amrita 75. Amrita 75. Okay, I think I've got it. Juhi 69. Juhi 69. Let me check. Yes. So I think option A, Ragini 63 is the odd one. Because everywhere else, Madhu 76, Preeti 20, Amrita 75 and Juhi 69, the person and the number are opposite each other. Madhu and 76 are opposite, Preeti and 20 are opposite. Let's check. Madhu and 76 are opposite. Preeti and 20 are opposite. Similarly, Amrita 75, Juhi 69 are also opposite. Amrita 75 are opposite. Juhi 69 are opposite. So the only thing which is not opposite here is the first option, Ragini 63. Ragini and 63 are not opposite. You see, Ragini and 63 are 2 places away, not 3 places away. So option A is the answer. Who is the youngest? Who is the youngest? I think youngest should be 21 years old, right? All others are more than 21. Oh, youngest should be 20, sorry. Ragini. Ragini is the youngest. Ragini is the youngest. Ragini is 20 years old. Ragini is option E. None of this here. Who sits third to the left of Sanjana? Third to the left of Sanjana. Simple. Sanjana is here, outward facing. Third to the left of Sanjana. For an outward facing person, left is anti-clockwise. First, second, third. Third to the left of Sanjana is Preeti, who is 52 years old. Preeti. Option D is the answer. So these are the answers. B, A, E, D. So as you can see, answering the questions is really easy. What makes it difficult is the whole arrangement there. So it appeared to be a complex one, but I think took about, explanation took longer, but when you do it yourself, you'll be able to crack it much faster, right? You're not explaining it to someone, you're doing it for yourself. So I think you start with 2 possibilities and eventually you'll be left with only 1 after you eliminate the wrong one there. So I think the message is the same again. The moral of the story is same. You never know how complex can these questions be, right? Maybe some of you have got the answer to this question, solution to this question by taking 4 possibilities. Now it's obvious that 4 possibilities will take longer than 2 possibilities, right? And it's very, very important for you to read between the lines. You have to remember certain things when you're doing. Like for example, I think when we started solving the puzzle, I somehow remembered that Madhu's age should be a multiple of, it should be a perfect square. So when Madhu was given 52, I could make it out that, okay, this is wrong because Madhu's age should be a perfect square. I had to remember that. I mean, see, these things play a very, very important role. You'll be able to eliminate the wrong choices much, much faster if you can, completely get involved in the arrangement and be with it for those 5-6 minutes and read all the important hidden clues. Direct clues everybody can mark. The hidden clues are very, very important. Okay, so guys, I think I would still say the same. The best way to solve such questions is to skip and go to the next one. Only after you're done with the easier ones, try such complex questions. Okay. So that's all from the session today. It's 8:35, 8:40 almost. I would like to close it here. I have one more question chosen from the last Aldia mock exam. There is actually a circular arrangement, but we shall take that up tomorrow maybe in the doubts clarification session with many other questions chosen from the discussion forums, right, posted by you guys. Until then, keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. I would like to repeat that we are starting a 21-day preparation marathon for your SBI PO exam from 8th of June. The calendar has been updated. You can check that. It would include 10 online mock exams. One of these will be held in 10 cities. So if you are from those 10 cities, you can take it in a center. Otherwise, you can take it online, right? And all the mock exams solutions will be discussed through live classes. So after every mock exam, we'll have 3 live classes, one for quant, one for reasoning, and one for English. Okay. And let me make it clear, you don't have to subscribe to it specially. If you are an advanced coaching student, if you are a part of this live class, I'm sure you will be able to participate in the 21-day marathon without having to pay anything for it, right? I mean, it's open for all of you, for all those who have enrolled for the advanced coaching for 1 year, right? So if you are in that valid period, if your validity is there, I mean, if your account validity is there, then you can take it, okay? So only one exam will be held in centers. Yes, if you want a clarity, only one exam will be held in those centers. Remaining 9 will be online only. Okay. This is an experiment that we're trying to do. We hope that all of you will really like it and this will add value to your preparation and it will boost your confidence because you have actually been to a center and felt that whole atmosphere. If we get a very good feedback from you guys, if we find that this is really proving to be useful, we will expand the number of cities to at least 40 or 50 in the next examination that we do like this. Okay. Anyways, you don't have to worry about it. Keep practicing and take very good care of yourselves. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.